At this moment, an elder who had been quietly observing and had cast divinations for Lan Wangji spoke up. As the divination has foretold, this Wei Ying and Wangji share an inseparable bond, destined by fate. Though their relationship started with fighting, it is clearly ordained by heaven. As long as he is not a person of great wickedness, there is no reason why they two cannot be married. Forcefully breaking a fated bond would be an act against the heavens and would bring great misfortune, which indeed would be the real sin. Someone else chimed in. Yes, the elder's divinations are very accurate. Remember that the marriage of the sect leader and his wife was also predicted by him. As soon as these words were spoken, it stirred up a heap of old stories and mournful sighs accompanied by stomping and chest thumping. Why bring that up? That was a doomed relationship, doomed. Let's not mention this anymore, let's not. Whether it was doomed or not, the divination did predict it, didn't it? And remember Wei Ying's parents, Wei Changze and Kangse Sanren. Weren't they also predicted by the elder's divination? Yes. And think about it again. The divination for Wei Ying and Wangji, if it truly comes to pass, it could bring about a great catastrophe. Even the Lan clan wouldn't be able to escape unscathed. At that time, there would be destruction and suffering everywhere, and that would be a tremendous sin. Moreover, Wei Ying's family background is not ordinary. An alliance with the Jiang clan of Yunmeng would be greatly beneficial to the Lan clan. Recently, we left the Jiang clan aside, making them wait in the cold for quite a while, which was really unwise and inappropriate. Fortunately, sect leader Jiang is broad-minded. If he were more petty, there would already be a rift between our two clans. These words were unpleasant to Lan Qiren's ears, but since the speaker was an elder, though his expression was not good, he didn't rebut. The usually calm and solemn Lan clan's family meeting had turned chaotic because of Wei Wuxian. The elder members of the clan were split into two factions. One believed that Wei Wuxian was incorrigible. Bringing him into the family would undoubtedly lead to constant unrest and the downfall of their reputation. The other believed that fate must not be defied, and if the marriage of the two was prevented, future disasters would be unavoidable, leading to deep regret. The two sides pulled and argued with each other, unable to reach a consensus for quite some time. Amid the relentless arguments, Lan Wangji suddenly spoke up. Esteemed elders, it's not us getting married. The most important thing is the opinion of those involved. After all, it's their lives that will be spent together. Why don't we listen to Wangji's opinion on this matter? The noisy room gradually quieted down, and everyone's gaze focused intently on Lan Wangji. He remained silent for a moment, then suddenly reached behind his head, grasped the delicate ribbon, and pulled it off forcefully. Everyone was shocked. They watched as he held his forehead ribbon in his hands and with a serious and solemn tone said, "Wei Ying, he took off my forehead ribbon." Everyone in the Gusulan clan knew the significance of the forehead ribbon. Upon hearing these words, many understood at once. This Wei Ying, whether intentionally or unintentionally, had treated something others valued and protected dearly as a mere plaything. The Gusulan clan held the meaning of the forehead ribbon in extremely high regard, so it was completely understandable that Lan Wangji would take it so seriously. Lan Wangji tightly gripped the forehead ribbon and said, "He is the one destined to be with me for life." After he finished speaking, a few resigned sighs were heard from the audience. Although the forehead ribbon held deep significance, determining one's lifelong destiny based on an unintentional touch of the ribbon was considered overly rigid and old-fashioned, even for the Lan clan. The elders looked at Lan Wangji with almost a look of fondness. "Wangji, if Wei Ying's action was unintentional, you shouldn't take it to heart. You especially shouldn't make a hasty decision about the person you'll spend your life with because of this." Lan Wangji gently set the forehead ribbon down and said, "Wei Ying is the one destined for me." A repeated, almost redundant statement. Sect leader Qing Hengjun, Lan Wangji's father, had secluded himself for many years and had scarcely paid attention to his own sons. Lan Qichen and Lan Wangji were taken care of by their elders from a young age. They understood Lan Wangji's character well. At times he could be so stubborn that it was almost exasperating. Moments ago, each elder had offered words of comfort, trying to free him from this unintended bind. Yet, upon hearing his repeated statement, they increasingly felt that perhaps this child had lost his senses. However, in those rigid words, there was an undeniable certainty that left them quietly contemplative. Foolishness? Or simplicity? Or was it something else? For a moment, the elders fell silent. Even Lan Wangji seemed at a loss for words. His anxiousness transformed into an awkward curve at the corner of his mouth, and his mustache drooped in resignation. However, the silence did not last long before it was broken again. A hint of embarrassment flickered in Lan Wangji's eyes, and in a muffled voice he said, "Moreover, Wei Ying and I have already been physically intimate." As he said this, he lowered his head very low, like a young boy admitting a mistake to his elders. At the same time, there was a hint of youthful defiance and innocence, as if what he had done wasn't really wrong, but rather just a benign joke played by fate. These words, upon reaching the ears of the elders, caused quite a stir. Lan Wangji, known for being the most disciplined and devoted to rules and etiquette, had never once indulged in the common youthful tendencies of slacking off or being tardy since he was several years old. He had never once stepped outside the boundaries of the rules set by the elders. Such a steady and self-controlled person committing such a major taboo was beyond anyone's expectations. The most shocked by these words was Lan Wangji. He jumped high into the air, almost losing his balance and stumbling as he landed. He spluttered, hardly able to form a coherent sentence. You said, what have you done?" Everyone hurriedly rushed to hold him back, preventing him from lunging at Lan Wangji. Watching helplessly as the precious, carefully cultivated treasure of the family, who had grown into such a refined and elegant young man, was suddenly claimed so unexpectedly, the elder Lan Wangji felt a rush of sorrow. He beat his chest violently and almost broke into tears in front of everyone. Meanwhile, Lan Wangji looked earnestly at his younger brother, with a hint of doubt in his eyes. And so, the marriage between Lan Wangji and Wei Wuxian was decided. This unprecedented and tumultuous family meeting of the Gusu Lan clan concluded amidst a scene of chaos and turmoil. Lan Wangji was punished to kneel in the ancestral hall for a night. It had been many years since the disciples of the Gusu Lan clan had seen such a sight. Young people passing by were as astonished as if they were witnessing a rare celestial event. They whispered and exchanged information in hushed tones. However, the events that transpired during the family meeting were kept under strict confidentiality, and no one leaked a single word. As a result, for many years, the true reason why Lan Wangji was punished that night remained unknown, becoming yet another enduring mystery of Yunxian. A figure in white appeared in front of the ancestral hall. The young disciples immediately fell silent, hurriedly tucked their hands into their sleeves, bowed in respect, and dispersed. Hearing the approaching footsteps, Lan Wangji did not need to turn around. He respectfully and calmly called out, "Elder brother." Originally, his offense was serious enough to warrant a harsher punishment, but the situation at the time was chaotic, and the marriage had been decided amidst this chaos. Given that their marriage, what they had done did not violate any principles or laws, Lan Wangji's transgression was not seriously pursued any further. Only Lan Wangji still had lingering doubts in his mind. He hesitantly asked, "Wangji, when you mentioned physical contact earlier, did you mean—" Lan Wangji replied softly, "Wei Ying. He hugged me." Lan Wangji furrowed his brow slightly, sensing something unusual. "Hugged you? And then?" Lan Wangji was confused. "And then?" Lan Wangji felt a bit embarrassed, but also somewhat urgent. "I mean, did you two—" Lan Wangji still didn't understand. "Did we what?" Lan Wangji looked deeply into his eyes and saw only a confused and almost innocent bewilderment. After a long moment, he let out a relieved smile. "It's nothing.